Live on 97.3 City FM and as well live on City TV. My name is AJ Akwako Sapon. And as well as Kel Kids toothpaste. A very big thank you as well to Bruce Services for our delicious cocktails on the show. And allow me welcome the man, Bruce himself. Hi, Bruce.
Hi, AJ.
How are you doing?
Very, very well.
What are you serving for us today?
So today I'm taking you to heaven.
Eesh.
So it's a night in heaven.
A night in heaven. Okay. Yes. Then it goes with supporting angels, and I have those in the building with me. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me welcome my wonderful sister starting off with my stream. How you doing?
Bad yourself?
I'm great, thank you.
We are tuning today and I'm loving it.
We are.
I love it.
Blue is nice. Blue is closer
royal.
to heaven.
Yes, close to heaven.
We're spending a night in heaven.
That's right.
It's all
That's
part
right.
of it. And someone also has shades of blue in her outfit as well, and always looks lovely nonetheless. The wonderful Olivia. Hi, Olivia. How are you doing?
I'm well, thank you. And how are you?
I'm great, thank you. Always a lady, this one. And finally, someone who didn't get the blue memo, but definitely got it in yellow, the wonderful, bright Felicia. Hi, Felicia.
Hello, AJ.
How are you doing?
I'm well, how are you?
Nice.
Oh, that's all
the earrings and the it's like blue, mauve,
reddish,
yeah. So you thank you. First choice, of course. First choice. Thank you. Well, ladies, are we ready for our story today?
Yes, ma'am.
Let's get into it. And Bruce, anytime you want to send us to heaven, please feel free. I want to start heaven because someone is definitely not in heaven, and I'll get straight into it. Hi, AJ and her sisters. I'm writing this and I cannot believe it's actually gotten to this point. I never imagined that out of all the people in this world, I'll be writing to you, but I've gone through something so devastating. I believe your input may help. In 2017, I cheated on my wife. We went through a rough time, but she forgave me. That time she asked me if I wanted us to have that kind of marriage. I said no, and I did away with all temptations. In 2019, I made the same mistake and she found out again. The thing is, my wife has a sass about her that makes me confess very quickly. But the last time, she was not angry anymore. And I think that's where I lost her. I believe so. My mother's alive and I would never do this if it wasn't necessary. But I swear on my mother that since 2019, I've never harbored any other thoughts of cheating again. I never got to fully appreciate or express enough gratitude for her for the many times she forgave me. But for the past 3 years, I've been trying my best. And as I try harder, it's as if she withdraws further. I'm writing to you today to ask if there's no place for her to forgive me in this marriage. I found out on the 2nd of February 2020. A full-on affair from 2022 till January 2023. I asked her why she would do that, and she said she doesn't know. She asked me for forgiveness, and I forgave her. And I thought we were even, and I told her this. She then said to me that we are not even, and if I don't want this marriage anymore, I should leave. After 9 years of marriage, is there no place for forgiveness? When she's having fun with our boy or her friends, I look at her and I get lost in her laughter and her smile. But she stopped laughing with me. She never smiles with me. I am disappointed that we are at this point where it's sort of a do me, I do you scenario, which is not healthy for any marriage. I want to ask her, or perhaps help you advise her, or me, if she can have a change of heart, or is my marriage really doomed? I want her to begin taking this marriage seriously and look at me as the only one. Do you, I do you, man no go best. So, this man cheated, got caught twice. Wife now cheats, chooses to let him know, I will assume, or maybe he finds out. And then it's almost done, but it's that she has written out of it. She doesn't want anything to do with him or the marriage anymore. And she's very well, we're still not even. If you want to leave, leave. So at some point in time, and he also acknowledged that after his second scenario where he was caught, it left she wasn't angry and she was over it, because she gave him an option in the beginning that if you want that kind of marriage, then we can do that kind of marriage. Other than that, don't cheat. He did it again. He was caught. Now he wants them to go back to normal. Is there such a thing as normal after this? I don't know who to start from. Olivia. Let me start.
Well, it's trust is broken. You can never go back to where you used to be. She'll never look at you the same because she trusted you in the beginning. She gave you her heart, and she probably gave you a bit of time. And not every woman is or I'll just wait it out and I'll just look to God. Not everybody is the same. Everybody's coming from different families, different homes. Everybody has different experiences. And she cheating back on you, even though I don't justify it, is her way of sort of guarding her heart. Because now you did it once, she forgave you. Second time again, it's like once bitten, twice shy. It's like, okay, I need to man up over here. She's probably having a conversation with her girlfriends, and everybody's like, hey, everybody's doing it, and also you know. And unfortunately, when women check out emotionally like that, and they're getting all the love and support and affection and great sex out of the marriage, it's like, okay, you're definitely of no value to me. So she's completely lost. You're of no value to her. And it's two things. It could either be I don't know whether you actually have proof or evidence, or what you have is pretense whereby she's looking to just get back to you. It could be that she's actually cheating, or it could be that she's pretending to be cheating on you to use the reverse psychology to get your attention. It could be a million and one things, but one thing is very evident: she's checked out emotionally. I would say don't expect her to come back immediately. I would say give it time, especially if the marriage is important to you, because she's like, okay, at first you'd actually have the guy say that, oh, so I didn't go. She's like, okay, if you can't deal, then get the hell out of here. So you don't have, it kind of, for now, it kind of seems like a lost situation, whereby you want the marriage more. Technically, you caused the marriage to be where it is, so it means that you have to do twice as hard, as much as work to bring it together. All I can say is be patient. One, two, since you desperately want the marriage to work, you need to get her attention one way or the other. Create opportunities to dialogue, not in the midst of other people, because clearly she doesn't smile the way she used to smile with you anymore. She thinks that a lot of things have changed. You need to get her attention in a different way. I don't know if you could plan a trip with her. Ask her that you can wake her up in the middle of the night, you know. Well, if she's like my husband who enjoys to sleep, please don't. But you know her, and you know what takes her off, and you know what she likes. Find a very good time and tell her your tone and your reaction and your body language, everything needs to be different. Something needs to change about you, whereby she looks at you differently. And then you see her and tell her that, babe, I really need some time away out of this environment alone with you, because I really think we need to talk. And she's gonna blow you off, or she's gonna, but be persistent. You did it, so you have to be extra patient. Create an opportunity for you to dialogue. Sit her down and tell her that, babe, I know it's my fault that we're where we are today, but this marriage means the world to me. I really need your attention, and I really need things to change up a bit. If that doesn't work, get somebody, I hate saying this, but I don't know, that one person who will listen to her, that one person who respects her, who she respects enough to listen to, because you're desperate to have your marriage back online, and try to salvage the situation. But what I'm saying is that don't expect a miracle overnight. Know that it's going to take a while, but in between times, all you could do is to affirm, reaffirm, confirm, your love language needs to change. You need to be there physically. You need to appreciate that today she'll give you attention, she'll not, because now you are in competition with somebody out of your marriage. So the person's probably doing things. Make sure you look good. Make sure you're also paying attention to what you look like. Maybe if you're out of shape, try to gym, try to smell good, try to gift her stuff, try to be there for her and let her see that. And you're just going on about your usual business, and she's looking at you and thinking, she's probably sizing you when you get out of the shower. She's looking at you, this guy, have you really changed? Like, a million and one things go on in women's minds, but something needs to change. And just give it time, and I think it should work. And like I always say, sometimes in marriages, depending on which families you're coming from, however we want to look at it, I believe in spirituality. There could be altars from both families that are preventing both of you to be happy. So it's time to actually go on your knees. It's time to actually fast for there to be a turnaround. Sometimes it's good to actually take things pray for your marriage, because sometimes it's not just the physical that will help. God really comes through. God will help her, and in the midst of all of that, you find God to actually help you repent and change completely. And you need that light and that grace of God over your life and over your marriage and over your partner and your family to be able to make it work.
So very interesting thoughts to all of you. Now let me move to Felicia and hear your thoughts about this particular one. Gentleman marries, cheats twice. Wife now is checked out mentally, also cheats, and now he wants he feels that now that she's done it, we are even, but she says no, we are not even. Even is far from the equation, but he still wants his wife. He's forgiven her for cheating. He still wants to maintain it, but at this point, when a woman checks out mentally, does she mean that mentally that's it?
I would, in your delivery, the lady at a point after the first cheating told the guy that if that is how,
then we go that way,
then let's go that way. And it comes off to me that she's open to an open relationship, and with where they've gotten to, yes, I feel the guy should give her that option, but not cheat, but not go like that route. So for instance, tell your wife that, okay, I need you. They should have an open conversation. I need you, all those things you are doing, I don't want it, blah blah blah, but yes, I get you. I cheated on you. It looks like you are checking out, but I'm sure you are here because of something, either the kids or me, but I want to give you the chance to do what you want to do, but I'll be here for you. Sometimes reverse psychology helps. Sometimes people don't necessarily need you to force them to be somewhere they don't want to be at a certain time. But if you let them go, they realize what they are missing and they come to the realization and come back. And I feel like at this point, he needs to be ready for however this goes, because she didn't start cheating out of the blue. I'm sure out of all the things you did, kind of pushed her, as my sister said, friends were talking like, your husband has cheated on you, her mind got to the point to say, let me also get there and see how that will make me feel. And I'm sure she's still not gotten the be at home, be the responsible guy, as you have clearly stated that you are trying to stay away from cheating. Be there for your home, because usually men cheat, and the advice we get out there most of the time is, pray for your husband, be there, ideally be there for him, pray for him, ask God to forgive him, to touch. So this time our gentleman, you'll be praying for your wife. Yes, be praying for him, be the wife figure, so to say, right now. Hold the family.
Yes.
Surround yourself with the right people. Yes. And allow her to be, and trust me, she'll get to a point where she'll come back.
I love that.
Yeah, it's worked in the reverse. So I'm sure this will work
Stand
for
in the
you.
gap.
Yes. So
What God can do does not exist.
absolutely. So that's what I'll preach to him today.
What God cannot do,
Cannot do.
or can't do,
Do
does
not exist. Yeah. So-
And then you
And
the
you
whole-
should try to go to church.
share the link, share the link, share the link, share the link.
Yeah. Pray a lot. Fast sometimes.
okay.
No, but on a more serious note, I feel like he should allow the lady to be for now. Give her some time and see how it goes. But as the lady is away, he should try to hold the fort. He should hold the fort at home. The lady will come to the realization and come back up if she really wants to keep the fort.
I like that. Now let me come to you, teacher. Hold the fort, cheat back, let her go. So many different scenarios, but which one do you think?
You see, the consequences of some things in life are there. And by the time you realize that, damn, these are the consequences of my actions, sometimes it's not too late. You are married to someone. I've never really cared about which gender is cheating on which other gender. It is not fair that you swear an oath to someone to be with them till death do us part, in sickness and in health, in riches and poor, and then only for you to turn around and cheat on them and claim that because you are the man, it's okay. Now, first of all, I've never condoned the idea that you go and cheat and you confidently, how many people in their right minds do that? It takes someone who has no regard for the other person to go and tell the person that have cheated on you. It's like, you don't have any regard about this. And I feel that is the beginning of the problem that we've not looked at. You go about confessing this, and for you to have the effrontery to do it the second time and expect that this woman, 21st century woman, is sitting there waiting for you and praying for you. Why? Are you okay? It is wrong on every level. Let's call a spade a spade. Now, if whatever she chooses to do at this point, look, I second her 100%. I am sorry to be that devil's advocate again on this topic. I second her 100%. She go full on and do whatever she feels like doing, whatever will make her so happy and bring her to the point where she feels like, okay, I'm ready to give this man a second chance. Let's give her that space and time to do that, because in this same society we find ourselves in, like my sister has rightly said, our folks will say, oh, Bompire man, we pray for him, he'll be okay, he will come back. Don't leave your marital home. He shouldn't leave his marital home for anybody to come and take
at all.
He should keep it and pray over it and make sure the marriage stands. He should stand in that gap until it is closed again. Let's see how nice it is.
He should pray.
But all said and done, no, I think he should find a nice way to go about this. Like Felicia rightly said, express her hurt and pain anyhow she feels or deems fit to express it, and she herself has to come to that realization that this thing is what we all signed up for, and unfortunately what we are doing now is not going to take any of us anywhere. The more you push, I remember at some point in one relationship be like that I was in, the guy I was with was busy chasing some other girl, and I was young and naive at that time. I won't do that at this point in my life. I was busy chasing the girl and trying to have issues with the girl, and the more you chase that girl, the more he just wants to go there. Sometimes the more you tell people don't do something, the more but you realize that when you just leave it be, they themselves will come to the realization, Charlie, I didn't cry. It's not that it's so useless, and then they will stop. I think he should come to that realization and stop. Going to try and cheat on this person to score more points is just useless unless he doesn't value the marriage. And already the angle he went from the beginning is an indication he doesn't value the marriage. And let me tell you this, AJ, most women do not just cheat out of nothing. So women, God just created us that way. We don't cheat unless we've been pushed to the wall. So much must have gone on in this relationship for the woman to take that route. We all don't know. For the woman to even realize that you've cheated, who is to tell that you didn't even change your attitude towards her? You didn't treat her in ways that made her feel like, for her to come and find out, for you to now confess that you've actually cheated. Because no man in their right mind will just come and sit down and say, honey, I've cheated on you, blah, blah, blah. I'm sure so much has gone down the drain that he didn't have the time or space to say in this message. Yeah. So considering all the hurt you've meted out to this woman, time to heal. And I think even after that, they should see a counselor. It is necessary that people come back to the point of how you saw this person before you agreed to walk down the aisle with them and say, I do. It is important that in spite of everything that happens, you go back to that one point where you started on a clean note. I think after all is said and done, they should come back there.
Okay.
Yes.
I agree. Well, what are your thoughts about this particular scenario? Let us know. Send in your messages with the hashtag sister, and as well reach out to us on our social media pages at City TV at 97.3 City FM, and as well you can tweet at me at AJ Sappa. When we come back, we'll be getting into our second story for today.
Magic pepper and onion, a delicious tomato mix with tomato, pepper and onion. No grinding, no blending. Ya yin na da da da. So pa mediane no abin. Come on, Gino, do your magic. And papa no kuno abefi.
Tasty magic.
Gino Magic Pepper and Onion. The magic that brings them home.
This advert is FDA approved.
I passed by your favorite barbecue place and I got you something.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, what is your pain level?
No, focus, Ayana.
Push harder. I'm to try harder. I can't.
What I think is happening here is the usual bureaucratic nonsense.
They forced their way into the patient's room.
What? And they held the treatment.
No.
His head, sir. And you're not going to stop until you destroy everything that is good and decent about this hospital. I'm just lost for words.
Thank you for rescuing me from that accident.
And I'm sure the men have a lot to say about our last conversation. Of course, if you are a man and you're wondering, or you have your very strong opinions about it, let us know. Use the hashtag sister to tell us all about it. On what the man should do. Should he leave the woman? Should he stay? Should he, as my sisters are saying, pray about it and stand in the gap and keep the marital home secure while his wife goes out? And eventually she'll come back home.
Oh, yes.
We say it's for the men all the time, so it's time for the men to also start practicing it. Hallelujah.
Amen.
And the sisters all agree with me. Bruce, I don't know. Bruce, you think the man should be standing in the gap?
Well, I think he caused this in the first place.
Exactly.
Yes.
Go, Bruce.
The reason I'm saying this is, if you've had a chance to come and confess the first time, it means you should put a stop to it.
And then you have caught the second time.
Was it caught or he
No, she has a way of asking him and then you confess.
You see, so it means he has a problem. You should stand in the gap.
Stand in the gap. The man agrees. Now we move on to our next story for today. Of course, keep your messages coming in. But this one, ladies, are we ready?
Yes.
Dear AJ and her sisters, please tell me what to do in my situation. I am 24 and my sister is 31. My fiance proposed to me since 2022 October, but my mother won't let us get married because my sister will feel bad. So she says I should wait 1 more year and see if my sister will find a man. When I said it's wrong for her to tell me, she said I'm too young anyway and she won't approve it for now. My sister doesn't know. My mom said if we tell her, it will make her feel worse. I can't tell I'm engaged, not to talk of getting married. My sister is amazing in every way to me and I love her, but I want to move on with my fiance. This is not fair, AJ, and I want to do something about it. I really want to marry my fiance. He is also very restless now and complaining that we should just go and just do it. Please take note, my dad is also in on this, but I know if my mom approves it, he too will say okay. Please help. Young sister unable to, and I've heard these stories before where some families believe that one must get married before the other, so it becomes a weird thing when the younger one wants to marry before the older sister or brother or whatever. Now she's found the perfect guy. She's 24. Her sister to now propose to her, for them to now say, okay, we are getting married. Before she'll get married, before she can now get married, the man will leave her now. Literally, but the mother says that at least 1 more year. So she has to go the whole of 2023, hoping that the sister will find a man. Then maybe in 2024 they can consider the situation of actually getting married. Now, thoughts. I'll start with you, Felicia.
I'm kind of wondering the kind of relationship she has with her sister.
She says she loves her sister. Her sister's fantastic.
Because if I am to put myself in that situation, like with my sister and I, are like crazily close, and I wouldn't see why she will hesitate coming to tell me that my fiancé proposed and I'm ready to get married. Then in the first place you have a problem with it, because if you don't, then there's no conversation here, honestly. Because I openly go to my sister to tell her stuff. She will openly come to me to tell me stuff. So if you are struggling with your parents, what stops you from going to your big sister to say, sis, Charlie, my boyfriend, if not for anything, just say to pick on her reaction. Just test the mood before you even go on to say, oh, he proposed and we are ready to get married. Because some people propose and it takes like 2 years, 3 years for them to actually like do the ceremony. So just go in, hey sis, could you come and propose though, and just see how she feels about it. Then if she's okay, go ahead and tell that he wants us to get married by mommy and dad, and go together to mom and dad as a a team and talk to them, because I feel this is nothing to worry so much about. If you have a very good relationship with your sister, it only becomes a problem when you have an issue with it, you have your own perception, you feel bad, then you start hesitating going to her. But like for me and for what I know about sisters, and with my relationship with my sister as an example, I don't see any hindrance here.
How do you feel?
I agree. I agree with Felicia, because and your sister's blessings. Traditionally, even spiritually, they usually say, as in, once the firstborn breaks through, it's much easier for the rest of the siblings to break through. That's the norm. But life is also not a race, and it depends on how God has sort of decided to align everybody's destiny and path. So the most important thing that you need, I think, at this point is your sister's blessing. To have an open conversation with her and tell her that you love her to bits. This is what mommy and daddy are saying, and because you love her, what's happening, what does she think, and you want to accord her the due respect. It's all about tact. It's all about how you communicate, and it's all about how you make her feel as a big sister, and it's all about how you also position her in the midst of even preparations when everything goes well, because you don't want her to feel any form of bitterness or remorse in her heart that she wishes it was her. I mean, she's human, but you just want her to have like a clean and good heart and spirit for you, so that you'll enjoy. And you never know, out of the joy in her heart, God will use that as an opportunity to also bless her. So do right by her by all means. Have that conversation with her, and by all means, because you need mommy and daddy's mommy and daddy are concerned, and it's just normal for parents to feel like that because of the whole firstborn pattern thing that exists. So get them involved as well. Like Felicia was saying, let mommy and daddy have a conversation with you and sis and your family. You're close, but settle it first with sister. Makes it easier for you to approach mom and dad. You never know, maybe big sister could actually say, hey mommy and daddy, I've heard this, or why are you trying to slow my sister's progress and stuff. Or let her be happy. And therein lies your peace of mind. Therein lies the beauty of your union, and that will prevent you from actually going out, because now what it is that when you succumb to your fiance's pressure, you get out, you go and get married, your sister doesn't know, your parents are peeved, their bad words go against you, consequences, like it's too much wahala. Do it the beautiful way. Pray about it. God touch her heart, like pray on it, because sometimes it makes it easier and it makes the situation like less murkier, and then you take it from there. And I just wish you all the best, but you be happy, be happy, do what you need to do to be happy.
Okay, very well said, Felicia. Now let me move to Sicho. Looking at this particular one, lady is ready to marry, unable to because of some, I don't know if I say archaic is the right word, or a prehistoric notion that the eldest must marry before the youngest. Now, what are your thoughts about it?
I think it's just unfortunate, the situation that she finds herself in. But first things first, it's really hard. I think we ladies do not tell each other enough, or do not confess it enough, how hard it is to find a man who would say, I want to marry you. To find a guy who will go on dates with you, who will date you for a couple of months, a year, 2, 3 maybe, it's hard enough. Not as hard as finding the one who would say, I want to marry you, And so this is a beautiful thing. Now, to go further and say you've spoken to your parents about it and they are considering your sister, it's a nice thing also for parents to do that, but this is where the problem lies. As parents, and for me, I agree with what both of my sisters have said already, and that's why I will not retrace that point, because then it's like we are overdoing it. But I want to look at it from a different angle. We as parents are beginning to overshield our children. Pain is in life. Hurt is part of life. It's part of being an adult. It's part of being a human generally. Loss is part of being a human. Now, there are things like every emotion that we feel, from envy to jealousy to greed to selfishness, is all there. Depending on which one you feed, you will grow it. Which one you starve, you will diminish it. And it is about time we teach our children that right from infancy. Now, if as a parent you have done your job right, you should not be worried whatsoever as to how your eldest child is going to feel because their youngest is going to get married. Why am I saying this? So are we going to say, if she goes into a workspace and her junior colleagues who came in later than her are getting promoted, we as parents are going to shield them in that as well? This is life. Everybody's destiny is different. You cannot shield your children everywhere, and that is why you need to teach them some principles in life. The point I'm trying to make is, right from infancy, you realize that as parents we are told, or we read in books, or we learn it somehow, that the kid whatever a kid needs to grow and flourish is what you give them. You don't just say a slapstick rule for everybody. You look at a certain kid and you know that, okay, they need joy, they need this, they need that, they need attention. Another kid probably needs the ABC, which is different from kid B. If you don't do that and you say, oh, every kid needs the same thing, this is where you end up finding some of these problems. Because, for example, if she's not married, there are other things she's excelling in. How about you encourage them in that area and help them to flourish in that area until marriage comes to them? I think we as Africans are beginning to look at this whole marriage thing as if it's the beginning and the end, the alpha and the omega of our lives. Just because your elder sister is not married, how is that now becoming an impediment in your way when you have gloriously or gracefully found someone who wants to marry you? I think the parents are being unfair on her, but how my sisters have gone ahead to address this is the perfect way to address it. But I think for me, I'm speaking more with regards to how the parents are dealing with it, with regards to how we all as parents in this generation must deal with our kids moving forward, so that your friend buys a new car and now you are threatened because your friend buys a new house and you are threatened because of you. Your friend must not buy a new house even when they have the money. You see, that's part of some of the things that will go ahead of you in life. And if you are matured enough and resilient enough in your spirit to deal with it, your sister being married should not be an issue, and your parents should not think you are not strong enough to handle that. You understand? So that's my point.
I like that.
Yes.
I like that. Now, on this particular point, where elopement might be something she might consider, but a lot of us are in agreement that it might be a tricky point to go. Let's look at it from the extreme point, where the sister maybe agrees with the parents. She actually thinks that she should be the first to get married, hypothetically. Now, with that, if that was the reality, how should she navigate it? Tijo?
I think if that's how her sister is looking at it, then unfortunately she's a selfish sister to start with, because it is not fair that your sister's future is tied to yours in any way, shape or form. But if that is how she's looking at it and the family is still bent on going that route, I think she and the boy, if she really believes and loves this guy, can go ahead and, in my opinion, personal opinion, I could be wrong, and I'm stating categorically that she doesn't have to go. But if it was me, I would go ahead and have a private ceremony with this person or sign something. I've heard of couples who have gone to the courts to sign just for formality's sake, and gone ahead to have a whole year before they now publicly say they are. I think she can go ahead and do that for her sister's sake and her family's peace of mind, and then be with this guy. Not necessarily move out of the house, but you both know that you are married, whatever the formalities are, you are.
Okay.
Because look, it's hard to find a good perfect one. Yes, a good one out there. Yeah.
I agree with that point. Olivia?
I think two things. Out of respect, you should, I think, and I do stand to be corrected, you should tell your parents and your sister that out of respect you will honor their word, which is to give exactly 1 year. Beyond 1 year you will not compromise, and you have to be assertive about that. But you tell them that you're giving them 1 year, not out of respect and because of their blessing, and let them know that this is the best you can do. If after the 1 year, and 1 year also gives you enough time to also, start packing your things together, you and your fiancé, just to assure him that you're not going anywhere. You love him as much as he loves you. Maybe even it's a mortgage you're looking to get together, like basic preparations. Nothing means that you're not getting married. This is what they've told you. They want 1 year. You're going to give them 1 year. And that 1 year doesn't mean your world has come to a stop. Continue as planned. Within 1 year, if they start coming up with stories left and right, you tell them, go again in the meeting, tell them, Mom, Dad, Sis, 1 year, nothing is happening. I believe I deserve the right to be able to have my life move on. So it's your take now, because then you will push me. As much as the Bible says, children obey your mother and father and the children obey your parents in the Lord, so that their days will be long. The Bible also says, parents, do not cause your children to react in ways that they are not meant to react, because it means that parents know that they are in a position whereby they have power over their children, but don't provoke your children to be disrespectful. So then you also quote scripture to them and tell them that if you don't live by your word, you will push me to elope with this guy, or literally go to the registry and go and sign and have my peace of mind. When you figure this all out, maybe I'll come out to do a big wedding, because who knows, maybe she's marrying somebody who's probably an only child, somebody who's coming from a wealthy family, whereby they also want to show off that, hey, their son has gotten somebody, wants to do something flamboyant, wants to be out there. So it's not just about one family. They also have to consider the feelings of the man's family. But let your term
like she can bring in an older person like a grandmother or an auntie who she believes her parents will listen to have a conversation with them. And if that doesn't work, she buys herself some time to prepare towards the wedding or the ceremony. But I feel like she should go for what she wants, but she should have an honest conversation with her parents to tell them that, you know what, I'm going to buy you guys some time, but note that after exactly 1 year, I'm going to get married. But within this 1 year, we are all going to prepare towards the ceremony. We're going to get stuff together, and get ready for it. But she can bring in an elderly person or an auntie, someone that the parents would listen to just add their point of view to it. Because sometimes some parents feel like they can do stuff because I'm the parent, I know what is good for you, but they also try to they are open to perspective of others. Right. So if they get a perspective from another person, because sometimes our parents make decision also because of how they feel others will think about it. Yeah. So when you go to church, the Meku leader will say that, and Amma is not married and you are married. Because I sometimes get that a lot when you hear parents advising their kids to do certain things because of how they feel the society thinks about it. But if they get an outsider to tell them, there's nothing wrong with this, let her go ahead, maybe it can change their mind to be a bit lenient on you. Or
but I want to ask this. So we are all basing this premise on the fact that this gentleman who wants to marry her is level-headed, and when you tell him give me a year, will honestly say I will give you a year. Now let's look at the premise where this gentleman actually wants to do right by you. He has a timeline. He wants to get married now. He doesn't want to wait a year. Maybe in a year he has plans. He wants to relocate.
Is he dying?
Maybe he wants to relocate in a year. Maybe he wants to start a family in a year. Maybe he wants to go for a promotion in a year. Like he wants to get things done now, and then in a year he'll be in a better position because he's married now. Maybe he proposed last year. He's already compromised.
Well,
it's in February. It's like 5 months of no activity, and he's just quietly sitting down waiting for someone to magically give him a time. Somebody will get married a month after.
See, that's the thing. Marriage is not about the individuals, it's about two families coming together.
But her family is not being reasonable.
Exactly. Now, but the question is, have they come to do knocking? Has he needs to have a backing?
Yeah, but I think let's assume that, or at least we can gather from the question that at this particular point the parents have frozen everything.
Yeah.
Then his family can't come and do knocking. They can't come and do engagement. They can't even come and do enquiries and say that, we found a beautiful flower we want to pluck. They can't do any of that because the parents are stuck on the fact that younger can't get married before older. So until then, we don't even know that there's a man in your life. Let's pretend that you are still doing simajoli. And then we don't know if the man has actually declared his intentions for you. Now, in the situation that this gentleman cannot wait for the amount of time. It's restless.
I think that the girl did not inform the parents when they were going out about the guy's intention. They only got a timeline after she mustered the courage to be able to tell them. And now that they officially know, that's why they're requesting a year to be able and let them know this is what mommy and daddy are now saying after I officially told them that there's somebody in the picture.
Okay, now if he wants to walk away, it cannot wait a year. No woman is worth the stress.
AJ
and says, I want to walk away.
The man loves you. He's not going anywhere.
He'll wait. If he loves you,
you know, we are all forgetting another option
If
where
he's walking away,
they
then it
can
means-
live together without having an official ceremony.
No.
There's something
if you
called
want to live right by God and live right by man, and maybe the guy has maybe the guy is burning. He's like Chale.
No, but
I can't.
okay,
Maybe he wants to live right by God. Maybe according to his principle, he doesn't want
We
to.
like to flip it. If it was a man's family that was also delaying, won't we advise women to walk away?
Well,
Won't we also that if a man's family is preventing you from marrying, you have that biological clock is
started together, they can coexist. If the guy feels like I really want to move, they can coexist. If they want to travel, they can travel and do whatever they want to do together as a couple and wait for the official thing.
Is the girl's parent? Are the girl's parents going to allow her to be coexisting while her sister is no?
Wow.
He wants to do right, because if he didn't want to do right by her, he wouldn't be giving her pressure about wanting to marry her. He has so many opportunities to be sleeping
and
around
when a
her, but he
man
doesn't want.
he knows. And if you are delaying me, why should I stay?
But if he loves you enough, he will stay.
A reason good enough for him.
you know,
Absolutely.
AJ,
Loves you enough,
personally,
he will
I just
stay.
think like the accounts have a proverb. I think it's about time parents in general just train their kids differently. Look, some of these problems with even friendships will not be in existence if some of these training is meted onto our kids. What is causing envy? Because you think I should have what my friend has. At the same time, my friend has it. But if you know life and you've been trained properly by a God-fearing set of parents, you will know that some of these things don't matter in life. Whether you get it first or your friend gets it first, it doesn't matter. Our times are different and our destinies are different. You just have to keep praying for your own time to come.
Preach on. And on that note, we bring the show to an end. But not before we end it with my thoughts.
Spicy, finger-licking, and ongalicious. Here's how to make your peppered onga soybean protein chunks with fried yam. First, grind onions and red chili together. Place the 45 grams pack of onga soybean protein chunks in a bowl. Add 100 ml of water. Soak for 10 minutes until the water has been absorbed by the chunks. Then, fry until they are golden brown. In the same pan, add in your blended mix and fry for a bit. Season the mix with Onga 3 mix. Add a little water and salt to taste. After a bit, add in your fried Onga soybean protein chunks, stir and allow it to cook. Add in chopped onions, bell peppers, and mix it all together. When it's cooked, enjoy your ongalicious peppered soybean protein chunks with crispy fried yam. Gino Magic Pepper and Onion, a delicious tomato mix with tomato, pepper, and onion. No grinding, no blending. Ya yin na da da da. So pa mediane no abin. Come on, Gino, do your magic. And Papa
tasty magic.
And your daddy trying to kiss again.
Gino Magic Pepper and Onion. The magic that brings them home.
This advert is FDA approved.
Alrighty, so I ended with my final thoughts with our very first story. Our gentleman who was confused about what to do after he cheated twice was caught. His wife cheated and he caught her, and now she has mentally checked out of the relationship. I actually quite agree with my sisters. If the reverse was it, a lot of people would have been advising a woman to stay strong, keep faith, stand in the gap, pray for him, and eventually he'll come back. I think honestly, the same may go for you. I really do think that you should be steadfast. Give her time. Give her reasons why she should stay with you. Give her reasons why the marriage and being with you is better for her than to walk away. Pray on it and stand in the gap. Maybe not in the way that you think women should be doing it, but generally find and give her reasons every day to pick you and not walk away. And that may be the first step towards saving your marriage. So our second lady, who is distraught because her parents will rather her wait before she marries the love of her life in order for her sister or her elder sister to find her perfect man. I think you should have a general conversation first with your sister. Explain the situation to her. Maybe she'll be reasonable enough to shut down what mom and dad are saying, but if she's also of the same opinion, be patient for the next year, and perhaps, like my sister said, do something informally that will show your commitment to him. It could be signing before a big wedding, it could be cohabiting, it could be just giving him some reassurance in a very big way that it's him for the end of time, and only when you're completely assured that he truly is the one till the end of time. And I'm pretty sure the two of you in a year or so will be happily walking down the aisle. And on that note, thank you all for being tuned in. It's another exciting edition of Sister right here on City TV. A very big thank you to my wonderful sisters, to the lovely Sicho, the beautiful Olivia, and of course the feisty Felicia. And a very big thank you to you for being tuned in. And of course, brew services for the delicious cocktails. We had a night in heaven in a skull. Of course, find him on social media at Brew Services. And a very big thank you to our proud sponsors, Onga, Mama's Helping Hand, Calcate's Toothpaste, and as well Ghana AIDS Commission's Red Ribbon Campaign. A very big thank you as well to you for being tuned in. First choice, of course, for my hair. I love you guys so much. It takes a village to make me look this good. A whole village, guys. And of course, we'll be back next week with another exciting edition of Sister. And until you come your way again, keep watching City TV.
On Footprints this weekend, we have a conversation with Brigadier General James Hagan, Deputy Chief of Defense Intelligence of the Ghana Army, as he walks us through the history of the formation of the Ghana Armed Forces.
Ashanti started trading with the Europeans at the coast, and they were even trying to control the whites. So the whites decided that let us form a group of people, locals, who should be armed to protect us. So they got a group of people, locals, and then armed them. I have cast called Kujo Otesefo, who was virtually, I would say, a policeman.
Okay.
He was always troubling Asante traders.
Okay.
And at a point, he insulted Asante, was sent to Kumasi, but Asante allowed him to go back. And he continued, and he was grabbed and then killed at Abu Dunko. Such as McCarthy, a French-Irish, had then been appointed governor of the Gold Coast and Sierra Leone. When McCarthy heard the death of Kujo Otsetefo, he came from Sierra Leone, telling them that he was going to defeat Asante and that he would move inside into the interior of the country to go and defeat them. So immediately he came, he formed a militia known as Royal African Colonial Corps of Light Infantry. He moved along the Pra River and at a town called Nsamanko in the western region. He fought the Ashantis. At that point, the mortars and artillery were no use because of the type of vegetation. You fire your mortar or the artillery and to go.
We refer to as the Battle of Nsamanko.
Battle of Nsamanko, that is it. And the Royal African Colonial Corps of Light Infantry he formed can be described as the beginning of the Ghana Armed Forces.
Join your host Samuel Atamensa as he engages Brigadier General James Hagan this Saturday on Footprints at 9 a.m. with a repeat on Sunday at 4 p.m. only on City TV.
Footprints is proudly sponsored by Creamy Plus Evaporated Milk.
The Hairdressers is sponsored by Ebony Condoms and Tasty Tom Tomato Paste.
Hey, Hairdressers.
Okay. Man, thanks.
Are you good?
Yeah.
Okay. So in 3.
Hey, madam, you have directed the whole season. What kind of director? I beg, sit down.